ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Friday and Saturday morning series on Bhakti, Tattva, Viveka. Deliberations on the definition of pure devotional service by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we have began discussing actually the first chapter of Bhakti Tattva Viveka. And we discussed the Mangala Charan initially, if you remember. And I will once again recite the Mangala Charan before we begin our session today also. Yugapad rajate yasmin bheda bheda vichitrata Vande tam Krishna chaitanyam panchatatmanvitam swatah Pranamya gaurachandrasya sevakan Shuddha Vaishnavan Bhakti Tattva Vivekakhyam Shastram Vakshyami Yatnata Vishva Vaishnava Dasyasya Shudrasya Kinchanasya Me Etasmin Udyame Hi Ekam Alam Bhagavati Shama. So, after the Mangala Charan, the first theme we saw tasting and preaching bhakti. And two reasons were mentioned in it. And after that, what is the harm of false philosophies? So then, that's why Rupa Goswami is going to define pure devotion. So this is where we have come up till now in the Bhakti Tattva Vivek discussion. But then we went to what is the definition of pure devotion given by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And till now, we have been seeing Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Prabhupada's commentaries on this definition of pure devotional service. We have discussed the primary symptoms, the Mukhya Lakshan or the Swarupa Lakshan, which is Krishnanu Shilanam. Shilanam we have discussed quite in detail. And then Anukulena. And then in the last class, we discussed Anya Abhilashita Shunyam and Jnana Karmadya Anavritam. So the last point of discussion was about this exercise, whether the karma avran, how do we understand it? Avrit or anavrit, how it is. So all of you answered quite well. And this is where we stopped our discussion in the last class, if you remember. We will continue further. Some more points are there about Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. So let me further discuss this. Anavritam instead of Shunya is to forbid only those types of Jnana and Karma which conceal Bhakti. There are certain types of Karma which cover Bhakti or eclipse Bhakti or conceal Bhakti. Or there are certain types of Jnana. Jnana can mean here not only impersonal knowledge, but certain types of conceptions which can hinder our bhakti or cover our bhakti or conceal our bhakti or eclipse our bhakti. Now, let us see this example. Let us consider an example of this eclipsing. Your sister is getting married and she naturally invites you to the wedding. You are a brahmachari staying in the ashram now. You have taken her to practice of Krishna consciousness, and your sister comes and tells, oh, I'm getting married, please come for my wedding. All of your relatives expect you to attend the ceremony, and if you don't, they will be disturbed. All your relatives are expecting that you will come for this important ceremony. And you know that if you don't come, they will be disturbed. Probably they will begin to wonder about your newfound religion. You decide to attend so that you do not disturb them. That's fine. So with this understanding that, not to disturb the relatives, I just go and attend the ceremony. With this mentality, there is no harm to your devotion. So there, in this case, the Jnana Avrit is not happening. If you think, however, your attendance is necessary for your devotion, or your devotion will be harmed if you don't go, then that misconception that bhakti is dependent upon a social ceremony is an obstacle to pure devotion. Please understand this point very, very attentively and carefully. If you have a conception that, oh, this program, if I don't attend, then it will harm my devotion, then bhakti is completely transcendental. It will not dependent on any material activity, even karma kanda activities also. It's subtle, but it is still an obstacle. Again, the point is that subtle conceptions can hinder the development of devotion. Another example may be devotees' obsession with Ashtanga Yoga. ISKCON has some members who practice Ashtanga Yoga daily. They generally perform it for health reasons or perhaps an aid to calming the mind before japa, but not as a means of self-realization. So especially in our japa, especially like the pranayama exercises of breathing and sitting in proper posture and trying to sit in a right framework, using the tools of meditation, dhyan, given in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we use this as an aid so that we can hear the mantra attentively. But Ashtanga Yoga as a process of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahar, if we start giving more focus to that process, then it can become avrit. It can become avrit. But we use as an aid because it helps us in our practice of bhakti. Then it is not going to hinder our bhakti. So this is a little subtle and we need to understand this. They know that Bhakti Yoga is far superior. If, however, someone becomes obsessed with Ashtanga Yoga and begins to use it as a substitute for his devotional service, or if his interest in it becomes more prominent than his devotional service, then that will cover his devotional attitude and hinder his progress. So I remember many years back in one of the centers in South India, where I was there some days, one of the brahmacharis had attended, or he had done his BSc in yoga. He had learned the Patanjali yoga system, or especially the yoga system propounded by, I'm not able to recollect. So he had studied, he had done a 3-year course. So he was staying in the ashram, he was practicing bhakti, but his obsession for this practice of Ashtanga Yoga was more. And in fact, he was emphasizing that more compared to devotional activities. So this is one kind of avaran which can happen, and that's what is being explained. The same reasoning can also be applied to astrology or other Vedic and Neo-Vedic practices or semi-Vedic practices, like too much getting engrossed in grammar, Vyakarana, and trying to become a scholar of the Vedas, scholar of the, too much going into Vyakarana. So Prabhupada explained that if our scholarly pursuit is more compared to our devotional pursuit, then it can become an obstacle, it can hinder. So this is how Jnana Avrita can happen. The performance of these various activities may sometimes seem quite similar to pure devotional activities, but one would have to be experienced to judge the difference. So a very experienced person can subtly point out this difference. The point is that certain actions, desires, or even subtle conceptions may overshadow or eclipse one's pure devotion. Certain actions are karma here, based on our swabhava, or certain desires or conceptions also can eclipse our devotion. Srila Prabhupada warns us of this principle of similarity in his purports to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Similarity between these various activities and pure devotional activities. Pure devotional activities are Navida Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, So there are certain actions which can look very similar, but we have to be careful. And Prabhupada is pointing out this difference in the Chaitanya Charitamrita purport. All these obstructions have been described in this verse as unwanted creepers. They simply present obstacles to the real creeper, the Bhakti Lata. One should be very careful to avoid all these unwanted things. Sometimes these unwanted creepers look exactly like the Bhakti creeper. They appear to be of the same size and the same species when they are packed together with the Bhakti creeper. But in spite of this, the creepers are called Uposhaka. A pure devotee can distinguish between the Bhakti creeper and the mundane creeper, and he is very alert to distinguish them keep them separate. So Prabhupada is also pointing out that there are other upashakas endeavoring in bhakti for name and fame. Ujala Pratishta, So this kind of endeavor, although it seems like bhakti, but there is a hetu. The hetu is that, I should get fame. People should tell, oh, what nice katha you gave. So then there is, then in that activity, there is avaran happening. So that is the point Prabhupada is bringing out in his Chaitanya Charitamrita purport. Any questions on this up till now, what we have discussed? We further discuss some more additional points on the Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Any questions, any clarifications? Okay. So now let us, we are still continuing with Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu discussion. We have completed the discussion on the Anya Abhilashita Shunyam verse. Now, Rupa Goswami, what he has defined this devotion, he gives praman, proof. He gives praman and proof to prove this definition that it is Shastric. So the first proof he gives is from the Narada Pancharatra, Narad Muni's definition. Sarvopadi vinirmuktham tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Bhakti is defined as bhaktiruchyate, service to the Lord, rishikesha sevanam, using the senses, rishikena. It should be done with the intention of pleasing the Lord, tatparatvena. Free from other desires, sarvopadi vinirmuktam, and unobstructed by other processes, nirmalam. Nirmalam is unobstructed by other processes. So now, before we do again another exercise, I have a question. Please hear the question very attentively. I have my nature that I'm a businessman by my nature. I have taken up the spiritual practice. And when I go to my office and doing my business activities, is it sarvopadi vinirmuktam? Who will answer this? And you have to tell why. I hope the devotees are able to hear the question. Who will answer this? One hand has been raised. Any others? Okay, let us ask Madan Deshpande Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Unless it is no Prabhuji. Unless it is directed towards devotion, which adds to devotion, then only I think business is okay. But if I'm doing the business for my sake,
no, please understand my question once again carefully. I have a nature of being a businessman, and I'm practicing my spiritual life also, like chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So when I go to my office to execute my business activities, is it sarvopadi vinirmuktam? If it is yes, why? If it is no, why? You have to answer.
No, Prabhuji.
It is not.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, then what is the upadi then? What is the upadi?
If I do it for Krishna, my consciousness, then only it is for
No, no,
some
no. Let's
possible.
not let's not go into that. Let's not go to
Because
that zone. Let's not
because
go to that.
I have to leave that nature and come to Krishna consciousness. So is it?
No, no, no. Let's not go into that. Just to focus on that upadhi, sarvopadi vinirmuktam. Let's
It is
focus on
no.
that. Huh?
It is no. That's all I have to say. Please.
It is no. Okay, you're
Yeah.
correct about it, but why it is so no? That I also want to know. Yes,
It covers my bhakti.
yes, but what is the upadhi there? Upadhi means to understand, na? Designation.
Yes.
What is the designation there? Okay, Radha Rohini Priya Mataji has raised her hand. Yes, Mataji, you would like to share something? Your audio is not at all clear. Your audio is not at all clear. I think you must.
Is it audible?
It is a little better,
Is it
but
audible?
yeah, now it is better. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes.
Is it
No, no, no. Your audio, there is some problem with your audio there. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to answer? Okay, my my question to you now again. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam for us means what? What is our upadhi? And Sarvopadi vinirmuktam means what is our upadhi? Yes. Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandatpranam.
Yes.
Prabhu, Sarvopadi Vinurmukta means we are free from all other designations other than having our original identity that we are eternal servants of Lord.
Okay, we are eternal servant of the Lord. My upadhi is that I am spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. And my constitutional duty is what?
Devotional service, to serve the Lord.
To serve the Lord. Correct?
Yes.
So now again coming back to that question which I had asked, when I go to do my business, my business, what happens that time? What is my upadhi?
There our consciousness gets covered by, we identify ourselves as a businessman. So
yes, we identify our upadhis now based on the soul's dharma or the subtle body's dharma.
It's a subtle body's dharma.
Subtle body dharma based on our swabhava. Our swabhava is that we are by nature a businessman.
Yes.
Yes. So then we are doing karma. We are doing karma. Okay, we are doing karma activities, right? Business activities. Now, it is a different point whether how we do that karma and offer it to the Lord to make it spiritual. That is a different thing. But only we were coming to that point of that sarvopadi vinirva. See, when we do business, because that is we have our nature, our swabhava based on our subtle body, that is called as a conditional nature. And we do actions, and then those actions can be, these actions are karma. Then there is a karma avrit is happening there. And that's why the karma is then offered to Krishna by offering our fruits, whatever, business we are making profits, we are giving a certain percentage for the preaching. So then it is karma avrita. If we were situated in our constitutional identity as spirit soul, and we are free from this upadhi even of the conditioned nature, then we will do spiritual business. Our spiritual business is what? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavata. Namasyante tu mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasita. So this is the point I wanted to just bring out. I hope it is clear. Okay, now let us do this exercise. Please see this verse very carefully. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam. Free from other desires, and tatparatvena nirmalam. It should be done with the intention to please the Lord. And rishikesha rishikena. Using the senses, we serve the Lord of the senses. Sevanam. Bhakti ruchati. This is the definition of bhakti. Okay, now this definition is here. Now kindly map Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Where is it mentioned in the Narada Pancharatra verse here? Where is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam mentioned? Who will answer this? Yes, Radha Jivan Prabhuji. Yes.
Prabhu, Sarvapadi Nirmuktam.
Yes, Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam. If now again coming to that point which I had asked the question, if we had only the desire only to serve Krishna, then we do not have the desire to do any business. Because we have desire to do business, because our nature is there in the subtle body, there are desires, and that's why we are doing business. If we were in our constitutional position as a spirit soul, then there is only one desire, the desire to please the Lord. Then we are situated at the Anya Abhilashita Shunyam stage. So Anya Abhilashita Shunyam is a very, very exalted state in our bhakti. As we are practicing bhakti, to come to this point of Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, it's a very, very exalted platform. Yes, you're right. Okay. Jnana Karmadya Anavritam. Who will answer this? Jnana Karmadya Anavritam. Who will answer this? Jnana Karmadya Anavritam. Where it is there in this verse? It's very, very, very clear here. I would like that others also participate. Yes, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanvat Pranam. Prabhu, it is Nirmalam.
Nirmalam, and unobstructed by other processes. Nirmalam. Other processes also Varnashram or Ashtanga Yoga. Varnashram means we have our sabha, engaging our sabha in bhakti. Yes, Radha Rohini Mataji, you have raised your hand. Anything? Your audio is not at all clear. You will have to have a proper speaker, or I think you're on a mobile. It's not at all clear. Anukulena. Pardon?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Today my internet connection is not good, Prabhuji. That's why it's creating problem.
Yes. Oh. Anukulena. Anukulena, who will answer? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Tatparatvena.
Tatparatvena. It should be done with the intention of pleasing the Lord. Anukulena. The intention of pleasing the Lord. Yes, we have seen this. Krishnanushilanam. Yes, Jivan Prabhuji.
Rishikesha Sevanam.
Rishikesha
Sevanam.
Sevanam.
Yeah.
That's it. Are you sure?
Rishikesha. Sorry, Prabhu.
Rishikesh. Rishikesh means who?
Krishna.
Krishna. Here in Krishna Anushilanam, it refers to what?
Krishna Anushilanam. Rishikena.
No. Please go step by step. So you said Lord means Rishikesh, correct?
Yeah.
So here there is Krishna Anu and Shilanam in this Krishna Anushilam. In that what it is referring. Rishikesh is referring to what? Whether it is referring to Krishna or Anu or Sheelanam.
Rishikesha means Krishna, bro.
Krishna, correct. Okay. Now, Sheelanam. Sheelanam means what? Activities done. Okay.
Yeah.
So in this verse, where is it mentioned?
Bhakti ruchyate.
No. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. See, Sheelanam means to do actions with body, mind, or words, right?
Yeah.
Using the senses. Rishikena. You're forgetting that. Got it?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Bhakti Ruchyate is what? Bhakti is defined. Bhakti is it. Okay. I hope it was clear. Okay. Now the second proof Rupa Goswami gives from the Srimad Bhagavatam, right in Kapil Shiksha, Kapil Dev defines Nirguna Bhakti. This is there in the 3rd canto, 29th chapter. He defines Nirguna Bhakti. So after defining mixed devotion, Mishra Bhakti in 3 verses, Satvika Bhakti, Rajasika Bhakti, Tamasika Bhakti, then he defines Nirguna Bhakti. And then he explains the definition of Nirguna Bhakti here in this verse. This is 13 to 15. Part of 13 verse, 14 verse, and part of 15 verse. Ahetuk avyavahita ya bhakti purushottame salokya shashti samipya sarupyaikatvam apyuta dhiyamanam na grananti vinamat sevanam jana sa eva bhakti yogakhya atyantika udharita. These are the characteristics of transcendental loving service to Purushottam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ya bhakti Purushottame. It is without other desires, ahetukya, and it is not contaminated by karma or jnana. Avyavahita. In this type of bhakti, my devotees, jana, do not accept na grananti, sahalokya, shrashti, saharupya, samipya, and oneness with me. Even if I offer these liberations, diyamanam api, in preference to serving me, vinamat sevanam jana. This is called Bhakti Yoga. This is Uttama Bhakti Yoga definition and is declared as the highest object of human pursuit. So here, this is defining Nirguna Bhakti or Uttama Bhakti, and Rupa Goswami is giving this proof. Now let us again. Ahetuki is Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Avyavahita is Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. And Salokya Shrashti Samipya Sarupekatvam Apyuta Diyamanam Na Grananti is Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Vina Mat Sevanam Jana is Anukulena Krishnanu Shelanam. Sa eva bhakti yogakya atyantika udharita is bhaktir jate or uttama bhakti, bhaktir uttama. Okay. This is a little difficult, but try to carefully hear the verse and the translation. Kapil Dev, when he begins instructing his mother, Devahuti, what is the solution for I've been tormented by senses? What is the solution? Kapil Dev answers solution as Adhyatma Yoga. And first he describes Siddha Bhakti. Siddha Bhakti means Bhakti when you have attained perfection. That is Prema Bhakti, you can say. So first he defines Siddha Bhakti. So this is a definition where Kapil Dev, here Bhagavan is Kapil Dev, he defines it. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Devanam Gunalinganam Anushravika Karmanam Sattva Eveka Manaso Vritti Swabhaviki Tuya Anamitta Bhagavati siddher garishyasi. The Lord said, Bhakti to the Supreme Lord without material desires. Anamitta Bhagavati Bhakti. Animitta Bhagavati Bhakti. That is what? Without desires. Composed of actions, karmanam, of the senses, devanam. It's the devas, the senses, the sense objects, and the sense devatas are there. So that's why devanam gunalingam it's mentioned. To reveal sense objects related to the Lord, gunalinganam, which conforms to Guru's instructions, Anu Shravika, with mind dedicated exclusively to the Lord, Sattva Eveka Manaso, and which includes actions on the spontaneous level. Vritti Swabhaviki Tuya is superior to liberation. Siddhir Garishas. Now, we are accustomed or we understand our nature, vritti, the swabhavs. In the Patanjali yoga system, it is called as vrittis. These are vrittis. The impressions, unlimited impressions in the subtle body. And based on these impressions, we are acting. That's what is nature. But when the subtle body is purified, then the vritti of the soul is there. The vritti of the soul is what? Spontaneous attraction to the Lord, spontaneously performing devotional service. Now, there is what? Spontaneous attraction to the sense objects. That is the vritti based on the subtle impressions. So this is Siddha Bhakti. So this is also another proof which Rupa Goswami has not given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, but we are taking it up. So now, hearing this definition, I have put the translation here. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Where is it mentioned? Who will answer this? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, yes. I've unmuted you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Dhanatma. Oh, it is animitta.
Animitta. Excellent. You're correct. Jnana Karmadya Anavritam. Where is it? Okay. Any other hands? I will ask other devotees now. Janardhan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Jnana Karmadya Anavritam. Where is it here in this verse? Just see the red ones. Anushavika, Sattva Eveka Manuso, Vritti Swabhavika. What is Jnana Karmadya Anavritam? I know it's a little difficult, but you can try. Makaran Bakshi Prabhuji. Yes. Yes, Mataji. Yes, yes, Mataji. You can answer.
Karmanam Devanam Gunalinganam.
Karmanam Devanam Gunalinganam. Karmanam means what? Actions, no? Sattva Eveka Manaso. Mind dedicated exclusively to the Lord is Sattva Eveka Manaso. That is Jnana Karmadya Anavritam. Karmanam Deva Gunalingam means Anushilanam. Anukulena is Gunalinganam because it relates objects related to the Lord directly. It reveals the Lord. It is done for the Lord's pleasure. Krishna is Bhagavati and Anu is Anushavika. Sheelanam is Devanam Karmanam. And Bhakti Ruchate is Bhakti. I hope it is clear. Okay. Any questions up till now? Any questions, any clarification? Any questions or any clarification? Okay, now let us go to the next theme of our discussion. Now, after hearing this definition of pure devotional service, one question will arise: are we practicing Ananya Bhakti or Uttama Bhakti or Nirguna Bhakti, or it is called as Aikantika Bhakti or Akinchana Bhakti, Kevala Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna uses the term Ananya Bhakti. So are we practicing Ananya Bhakti right now is our question. How many of us feel that we have all taken up to Krishna consciousness? We are chanting 16 rounds, following the regulative principles. How many of you feel that we are practicing Ananya Bhakti now? How many of you feel? Raise your hands, and why you should tell. Only one devotee has raised his hand. How many of us feel that we are practicing Ananya Bhakti? Ananya Bhakti means Uttama Bhakti. Huh? Only one devotee has raised his hand. What about others? Others are not at all practicing Bhakti. What about others? I would like to hear from everyone, in fact. Okay, let us hear Sridham Charan Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Actually, Prabhuji, the path is Ananya Bhakti, and also our goal is to achieve that. But no, that means our aspiration is that to achieve Ananya Bhakti. But during practicing, such obstacles comes on our path. That's why sometimes we divert from that goal. But our goal is to.
My question is very simple. Are we right now practicing Ananya Bhakti? Our goal is that. Then our goal is to practice Ananya Bhakti. But then what are we practicing then now?
Practicing that only, Prabhuji.
We are practicing that only. Yes. What that?
Ananya Bhakti.
Okay, we are practicing Ananya Bhakti. Okay, that is what I wanted to know. Yes, Janardhan Kavra Prabhuji. I think your initiated name you can put in the
Jagadish Sudha.
Yeah, please put your initiated name so that we can call by your initiated name. Yes, Prabhuji. What do you feel? Hari Bol, yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, I think there is some problem with your audio there. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Presently, practicing mixed devotion, not pure devotion. But goal is to go towards pure devotion.
Yes. Now
that's why we are trying to understand this.
Yes. Now, why do you feel that we are not practicing pure devotion and we are practicing mission? What is the reason based on this definition of Uttama Bhakti, which we saw? What exactly made you feel that no, we are not right now practicing Ananya Bhakti, but we are practicing?
In the Anusilanam, there is we are doing chesta, but bhava is not yet there.
Okay, even if you are doing chesta, then also it is fits in the category of pure devotion. Please understand.
No, with the bhava also has to
No,
be there.
no. Don't have that misconception. Please don't have that misconception. Please don't have that misconception. Because Shilanam can be either chesta or bhava. And if you are having chesta anushilanam, still it is Uttama Bhakti.
But while doing chesta, that we are not able to fulfill the instruction completely.
Which instruction?
Though we are chanting 16 rounds, following regularly.
No, my question is, which instruction we are not able to follow completely, you are telling?
Yes. So, still miss that things are there, our desires are there.
Okay. So we are not able to fulfill that criteria of Anabhilashita Shunyam. That's your point, right?
Yes.
So that's what I want to know. Yes, Radha Rohini Priya Mataji. I hope your audio is clear.
So,
no, Mataji, your audio is not. No.
Hare Krishna, is it audible?
No. Please see that, when you're participating, you have a proper system and you have a proper instrument so that we can have a focused discussion. So yes, let us see now, are we practicing Ananya Bhakti as defined by Rupa Goswami or as defined by Kapil Dev or other scriptures? Let us see. Let us see this verse itself. Anya Shunyam Jnana Karmadya Anavritam Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Forget the marginal characteristics. Only if you see Anu, the highest bhakti is defined as continuous service or emotions. Anu is continuous. So if there is a break, then we don't fit in the Mukhya Lakshan of Uttama Bhakti. If we have desires other than the desire to serve the Lord, then also there is mission. And we pursue activities based on our swabhava, and there is karma avaran happening also. So this is the first, Rupa Goswami's definition. Only I am giving the proof. Because to fulfill the criteria of Uttama Bhakti definition, there should be continuous service or emotions. There will be either service with body, chesta. Chesta also is included in fitting in the category of Uttama Bhakti. That is the point I wanted to make. Let us see this second Praman which we saw. Here also it is mentioned what? Without desires, ahituki and avahita. So these two criteria also, the tatastha lakshan, if we are not fulfilling, then that is not the highest bhakti yoga. That is nirguna bhakti. This is the second proof. Avyavahita, not contaminated by, and ahetuki, it is without any desires. And this is no desire even to attain Vaikuntha, Salokya, Shashti, attaining nearness to the Lord. And forget about liberation at all. Only serving the Lord continuously. So this is the second proof. Now let's come to Bhagavad Gita. I mentioned Lord Krishna speaks about Ananya Bhakti in the Bhagavad Gita. So let us see 8.14. Ananya Cheta Satatam Yo mam smarati nityasha tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. Ananya cheta, without deviation of the mind. This is Prabhupada's word-to-word meaning. What does Ananya Cheta means? Ananya Cheta means that mind doesn't go anywhere else except Krishna. Satatam. Satatam means always. And Yaha Mam Smarati Nityasha. Remembrance of Krishna is Nityasha, regular. Prabhupada is saying here. In some of the purports and in some of the lectures, Prabhupada says, it never breaks. At all times, constantly you are able to remember Krishna. Like Krishna says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Tasyaham, for him, I am Sulabha, very easy to achieve. O Partha, Nitya. Again, it is regular. Yuktasya, engaged yogina. For one who always remembers me without deviation, Prabhupada's without deviation is Ananya Cheta. I am easy to obtain. Tasyam Sulabha, O Partha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Constant engagement in devotional service is Anushilanam in Rupa Goswami's definition. I am also now quoting Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's translation to this verse. A devotee who remembers me. Ya yogina mam smarati nityasha. Nityasha here daily is mentioned. At all times. Satatam. Daily at all times. Without deviation to other processes or goals. Ananya Cheta. Ananya Cheta, he gives a very interesting, without deviation to other processes. Other processes can refer to Varnashram process based on our Svabhav. Today, Varnashram is not there, but still we are acting according to our nature. We are doing activities. So, no other process. Who desires association with me in one of the primary relationships, Nitya Yukta. Yukta gives a very exalted, lofty definition. Nitya Yukta means we are connected with Krishna in yoga, but he is associated with me in one of the primary relationships. Shanta Dasya Sakya Vatsalya Madhurya. Easily attains me. Such a person attains me. So this is, I'm giving another proof from the Gita. Now let us go to this proof. Again from the Gita. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashrita ajantyananya manaso khyatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, Partha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, Mahatmas, are under the protection of the divine nature. Daivim prakritim ashrita. The soul is spiritual, and if the soul is completely under the internal potency, the Antaranga Shakti, then what is he doing? He is continuously engaged in devotional service. That is his constitutional nature. They are fully engaged. Prabhupada is saying what? Fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Gyatva bhutadim aveva. Now here again Prabhupada see bhajanti, renders service, ananya manasa, without deviation of the mind. The mind doesn't get deviated to anything else except Krishna. And he is Devim Prakritim Ashrita. So we are now practicing bhakti, but while practicing bhakti, we are under the shelter of the Antaranga Shakti. We take shelter of the Antaranga Shakti while doing 16 rounds chanting. We are battling still with our conditioned nature also during that time. We are trying to take shelter of the Antaranga Shakti while reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, by performing the angas of devotion. All these angas of devotion, what we execute, whether with body, mind, or words, we are doing DT backup. We are under the control of the internal energy. But when we go to office and when we engage in our business, we are in the material energy. We are not Daivim Prakriti Ashrita. Of course, when you transcend the modes and you become liberated, at that time also, if you are a king and engaging in your royal duties, you're still, although engaged in royal duties, but because now you're a transcendental position, you don't get affected by it. That is a different, not a subject, but it is part of this discussion. But that we have to understand. Daivim Prakriti Mahashrita, very, very important, and Bhajante Nanya Mansa. Vishnacharya Thakur's translation: the fortunate souls, Mahatmana, attain Daiva nature, Daivim Prakriti Mahashrita. Worship my human form with no distractions, Bhajante Ananya Manaso, knowing my human-like body is the cause of all things. Kyatma Bhutadim, and is indestructible, being fully spiritual. So here Vishnacharya Thakur is mentioning the Vibhuja form of the Lord. Next verse is what? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drida vrata namasyantascha mamtya nityayukta upasate. Satatam, always. Those who are in the divine nature, they are satatam kirtayanto mam. Kirtayanto mam. Yatantashya. Yatanta means endeavoring. And Prabhupada is saying what here? Fully endeavoring with great determination. Namasyante cha mam bhaktya. In devotion, nitya yukta. Perpetually engaged. This perpetually engaged in Rupa Goswami's definition of Anya Lashita Shunyam. What does it perpetually engaged means? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadyanavritam Anukulena Krishnanushilanam. Is there, na? Uttama. So what is Nitya Yukta in Rupa Goswami's definition? Who will answer this? Think about it a little bit. In Rupa Goswami's Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadyanavritam Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktiruttama. What is Nitya Yukta? Radha Jivan Krishna Prabhuji. Yes.
Shilanam.
Shilanam. Yes, but still more precise.
Krishnanu Shilanam.
Anushilanam. Anu means continuous, right?
Yeah.
And Shilanam here, in one sense, Shila means to engage the senses. Nitya Yukta is only Anu, in fact. See, Pasate means worshipping. So here the engagement of the senses and the body of the mind, here the Ananya Manaso, without deviation of the mind, is Jnana Karma Dhyana like that. Can map that also. But Nitya Yukta refers specially continuous service. Continuous. Without any break. Okay. Always chanting my glories. Endeavoring with great determination. Bowing down before these lords. Perpetually worship me with devotion. This is Prabhupada's translation. Vishwanath, they worship me all times. At all the times, they are worshipping me. Satatam, with devotion, in the form of singing about me, having strict vows, desiring to be my associates. Here, Nityukta, he gives, again, a very exalted meaning here. Wandering about to gain association, Yatantanta, and offering me respects as well as other devotional activities. Namasyante to Mam Bhaktya. So Namasyante to Mam Bhaktya is, engagement, Shilanam, in fact, if you can see here. Okay. Ananyascintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paryapyasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshema Vahamyaham. Ananya, Nanya, having no other object, Chintayanti, concentration. Prabhupada's translation, this is what word? There is no other object except Krishna for him. His concentration is only on one object, that is Krishna, and no other object. His mind doesn't go to any other object. On me. Ananya Chintayanto. Ananya is somehow missing. Sorry for that. I will change it. Ye jana pariupasate. Properly upash. Pari also refers all round worship. Continuously. Tesham. Nitya bhiyuktanam. Always fixed. Again, Nitya is Anu here in Rupa Goswami's definition. For them, for such Ananya Bhaktas, Krishna is saying, Yoga Ksheme Vahamyam. I take care of their requirements and protection. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, for them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. But I carry the burden of supply and maintenance. Thakur, Yoga Kshema Vahamyam, for those who desire constant association with me. Tesham Nitya Bhiyuktanam. And who, ye jana, thinking only of me. Ananyas Chintayanto. They are thinking of whom? Only of Krishna. Their thought doesn't go anywhere else except Krishna. Here it is Ananya. Oh, I should have been there. And worships me alone. Pari upasate. So this is another proof. Let's go to last two proofs. I'm all giving this from Gita, which define pure devotion. Majjitta matkata prana bodayanta parasparam katashyanti mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Majjitta, their minds fully engaged in me. Not that their minds are sometimes engaged in any other material object. If the mind is engaged with respect to the service of the Lord, or if the body is engaged in the service of the Lord, that is also within sadhana bhakti. Mind engagement is on a higher level. If the body is also engaged in relation to Krishna, that also fits in. Please understand. That's why I'm defining, Cheshta Rupa. Madgata prana, their lives devoted to me, bodhayanta parasparam, nityam, perpetually. Prabhupada is saying what? Nityam means perpetually. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. So no material thoughts come to them. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, madgata prana, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss in always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So Vishwanath Chandra Thakur says, with minds greedy for me, machitta, he says, being completely dependent on me, madgata prana, mutually hearing about me, bodhayanta parasparam, and singing about me, katashyantamam, they continuously experience satisfaction in it, nityam. So I am only bringing out that even in the mukhya lakshan, the sarupa lakshan, anu also criteria we cannot fulfill, because anu means continuous, without any break. Without any break. The gaun lakshan, yes, definitely we can understand. No, will not fit in the mukhya lakshan. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Satata yuktanam, always engaged, constantly devoted. For them I give the dadami buddhi yogam, who are constantly desired to be with me. This is Vishwanath Chandra Thakur's translation. And this is the last proof from the Gita. Yatu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara ananyeva yogena mam dhyayanto pasate teshamaham samutarta mrityu samsara sagarat avami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasa. So here this is Prabhupada's translation. Ananya means without division. or without deviation. Sarvani, all their activities are what? For me. If you are doing business, you can do business 100%. You can become a servant and your proprietor is Krishna. And you fully sit in your office and execute actions. All those actions are meant for the proprietor, that is Krishna, who is sitting as a deity in your office. And all the actions, what you are doing, they are all coming under sadhana bhakti. And you can come to know by the results. All the results of the prophets which come 100%, they all go to Krishna, nothing to you. Ye tu sarvani karmani, mayi sanyasya mat para. They are attached to me. All the actions what we do, they are done in relationship with me. So this is not karma yoga, this is bhakti yoga. But when you do actions based on our nature, then there is karma. You're doing karma, that is not bhakti. This is a subtle difference. You have to get this difference. Those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation. Ananya eva yoge. And this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's translation. Who meditate on me, tesham mayi avishta chittasam, with ananya bhakti. This ananya bhakti is ananya eva yogena. So ananya eva yogena means ananya bhakti. Giving up all other processes of attaining. Sarvani karvani mayi sanyasa. So this is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translates. Now I'll come to the one proof from the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavatam, this Ananya Bhakti is first defined by Sut Goswami in 126, very famous verse. Save pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir devakshaje ahitya apratita yayatma suprasidati. So here my question is, please hear very carefully. What is Ananya Bhakti defined here as? What is the term used for Ananya Bhakti here in Sut Goswami's definition? Like Krishna used Ananya. But in here, what has Sut Goswami used in this verse? Okay, Makarand Bakshi Prabhuji. Yes. I have unmuted you. Yes, Prabhuji.
हरि बोल.
Yes, Mataji.
प्रभुजी अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता.
No, please understand my question again. Rupa Goswami's definition has said Uttama Bhakti. This is Uttama Bhakti. The same Uttama Bhakti, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna uses the term Ananya Bhakti. Akinchana Bhakti also, it can be said. But here, this is the definition of pure devotion. But what is the term used for pure devotion? Shuddha Bhakti. What is the term used by Sut Goswami for Shuddha Bhakti? That is my question. Anyone? Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Prabhu, it is Paro Dharma.
Paro Dharma. Para Bhakti. Para Bhakti is pure devotion. Yes. Excellent. Nice answer. Thank you very much. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. Share the screen. Yeah. Okay. The supreme occupation. parodharma, for all humanity, pumsa, by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated, uninterrupted, to completely satisfy them. The supreme dharma for all human beings, sadhana bhakti, savai pumsa and parodharma, is that by which prema bhakti to the Lord arises. This is Vishwanath Chandra Thakur's translation. We will not go into the details of it, but we are just trying to bring out this point of how the Mukhya Lakshan and Gaun Lakshan, Yato Bhaktir, which is not caused by anything other than itself, I think, cannot be obstructed. Apratiyata, and which satisfies the mind completely. Yaya Atma Suprasiddhi. Now here, two things are there. Apratiyata is Prabhupada's word-to-word translation. Unbroken. Unbroken. If there is a break in our devotional activity, then there is fulfillment of, we cannot fulfill the criteria of continuous, and cannot be obstructed. Apratihata. Apratihata means it is jnana karmadi anavritam. So these are the proofs I had to discuss. Now the next point to bring up is very, very important. This we will pick up in the next class, but do you have any questions now, up till now, after discussing this theme, that are we practicing Ananya Bhakti and the proofs all we gave? Any thoughts on that? Okay, we will take only one question because we started a little late. So this only one question I will take and end up. Okay, yes, Birendra Yadav Prabhuji. 1 second, I have to unmute you. There's some problem. Okay, yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dhanuttam.
Yes.
Prabhu, just one clarification. Like based on our Swabhava, if we are doing Vardashram duty, and then we are offering, I mean, a result of those karma to Lord. So it
Yes.
falls in category of karma arpanam. So it won't fit into Suddha Bhakti, na?
Pardon again.
My point is, if we are doing karma based on our Swabhava, and then we are offering to Lord, so it will become karma arpanam, and it will not be Suddha Bhakti, no?
Yes, okay. So let us clarify this point. So we have our nature, Swabhava. Based on the Swabhava vrittis, there is, these vrittis will push us to do actions based on our nature. Sarve prakritir jair gunair, 3.5 in the Bhagavad Gita. Yes. So we are inclined to do activities based on the vrittis of the subtle body. And now because we have come to devotion, yes, we do actions, karma, and then try to offer the fruits of the karma, or try to, it is called as karma arpanam. Karma arpanam means the karma is done and then there is offering. So while doing that karma itself is not devotion. This is first thing to be understood. Now, if I am doing deity worship, I am doing backup service. While I am doing the backup service, I am doing karma actions. But that is not called as karma. That is directly bhakti. That is directly bhakti we are doing. So there is no question of karma being done and arpanam to be offered. The karma itself is bhakti. So there is no question of offering there. So this is the difference between the two. When we do actions based on our Swabhava vritti, then there's actions we do and then the actions are offered. That's why it is called as karma arpanam. So that is not Shuddha Bhakti then. There is Mishra Bhakti happening there. And then there is actions which we do There is karma, like deity worship, archanam. That's why that term was brought out in the Jnana Karma Dhyana Vratam. They are bhakti itself. Another thing I want to make it very clear. Now we are sitting and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Now, do we need at the end of our chanting 16 rounds? Do we need to offer the 16 rounds? Oh Krishna, I have done it for your pleasure. I am offering it. Krishnam Arpanamastu. Do we need to do that? Yes or no? If it is yes, why you have to tell? If it is no, why you have to tell? Raise your hands. I want to hear others. I want to hear from others also. Okay, let's first take Radha Jivan Prabhuji. Yes.
Vaishnava. Prabhu, while chanting, we are directly connected to Krishna and directly, there is no arpana not required. Doctor.
Yes, because that very act of chanting itself is devotion. So there is no need of any arpana. So this is quite a subtle difference. And I met one very, genuine sadhu in Govardhan. He's one of the pujaris, family pujaris of one of the deities there in Mansiganga. And he's also chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, interestingly. And while conversing with him, he was telling that, ultimately we have to offer our chanting to the Lord. So he was speaking about karma arpanam. So he did not have a clear understanding between Mishra Bhakti and Shuddha Bhakti. So that's how it is. So I hope, Virendra Yadav Prabhuji, your question is answered.
Yes, Prabhu. Just I wanted to clarify, Prabhu. Like suppose we are doing business activity or office work, and then we are in back we are supporting temple and all. But so these kind of seva, it will fall into category of karma arpanam, Prabhu, I feel.
Yes, they fall into karma arpanam and they will fall into karma arpanam category. At the same time, you have to understand to the degree we are practicing, means, like every day we are chanting 16 rounds, we are spending certain time of the day reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, we are attending festivals or we are doing deity worship. Well, all these activities are direct devotional activities. But if you can do all these activities only all the time, Nitya Yukta, Anushilanam, Satatam, as in the Bhagavad Gita meaning, then these are directly constitutional activities. And because you are able to do only this, because you are in the Daivim Prakriti Mashita, then you fit in that category of Ananya Bhakti. But it's not possible all the time to do constitutional activities because we have conditioned nature. So we do conditional activities. Slowly, those conditional activities we do in relationship with Krishna and purify our conditioning. So in one sense, if we see, we are doing a mix of both. Sometime during the 24 hours, we are doing our constitutional activities like chanting 16 rounds, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, direct devotional angas. Sometimes of the day or most of the time of the day, we are based on our nature doing activities and trying to spiritualize them slowly. And by doing those activities also, they are important. Please understand, our subtle body conditioning is getting purified. It is getting purified. And slowly when the subtle, because we are doing these activities without desiring the fruit in a nishkam bhavana, slowly the subtle body is getting purified. And when the subtle body gets more and more purified, then the more we will be situated in transcendental position and more we will do direct devotional activities. So like that, a combination of both is what we are executing now, and how to, minimize the conditional activities and maximize the constitutional activities is an art. It requires a balance, and we have to understand. But right now, we have to understand what exactly is Ananya Bhakti and whether we fit in that category of Ananya Bhakti. Is it okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we will stop here. We just finished exactly. We started at 7:22. So I was a little late today. Please forgive me for that. Thank you very much. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhakti Tattva Vivek ki